Hi guys, welcome back to the weekly YouTubes. We've had a couple of weeks break due to holidays here at the Academy, but we are back in flow from this week. Next week, Patrick will be joining me alongside Alex, and we'll be getting back into the weekly videos, week in, week out, bringing you the demos as we always have done. So guys, this week, what I have for the students here on the beginner's course is a really nice loose curly hairstyle. We're going to be talking about how to build shape and maintain length, and also discussing the type of fade that we're going to use with this sort of length and hairstyle as well. So guys, stay tuned and enjoy this week's video. Bit of shape back into this. Reduce as little length as possible, just Bilal wants to continue to grow it out longer. Okay, he wants a longer, kind of curlier hairstyle to the top, so we're not going to look to reduce lots of weight and length. Something nice and simple, square vertically, square horizontally, keeping the majority of the length. Okay. Through the back and sides, in terms of the contours, again, it's still not crazy long. I'd like to see more length in here for the graduation, so I'm not going to go and reduce loads of graduation, but we will walk through some forward graduation on this, just to show the process that it would take. And I am going to still reduce some. I'm going to structure it more than reduce any weight, but I want to still make sure that the structure in here is correct to create shape. That's it. All right, so anything that's sticking out above the square line, as in anything that's not square, it's just becoming square. Notice that I'm not looking to take masses of length at all. Very simply just creating shape. Okay. And then we also have the weight within the hair. So there's three different things that we can look at or alter to change the person's opinion or change the hairstyle, right? So it's not always length. Okay, sometimes the length is fine, like in Bilal's case here, the length is fine, there's nothing wrong with the length. Actually, there's not really a whole lot wrong with the haircut in general, but what we can clearly see needs to be fixed is just the shape, okay? And you can see that we don't need to reduce masses of length to impact the shape. Okay, the shape can be impacted by taking off millimeters of hair. Okay. Each time. Trying to change your intention, because a lot of people unfortunately think that people are coming to them for length removal, and some are. Obviously length removal is part of the process. Like sometimes you're going to have to remove a lot of length based on what the outcome needs to be. Sometimes you don't need to remove a lot of length and the outcome can be really good. Diagonal sections working on the crown. Now all I'm going to do, guys, is match my finger to the squareness of Bilal's head. So guys, look at that angle from there. See how it just basically is continuing the squareness of the head. I'm not out here, okay, this is too much. I'm also not in here because that's going round. All I want to do is match that shape there. Imagine the head continued on. That's all I need, right? It's the only angle that I need. Second section, okay. Guys, now I'll probably come around this way is a better place to watch this unfold. Second section, there's the guide. Third section. There's the guide, okay. And notice I'm just over directing back to previous each time. And see that weight starting to build up nicely now. All I'm going to do is follow the guide from the back through to the corner. Now, what did we say before about graduation, guys? Horizontally, what shape is it? Round. Well done. So what's happening now, guys, is that my finger, or not my finger, my cutting line is controlling the horizontal shape for now. My over direction is controlling the vertical shape, as opposed to the other way around at the back. Cutting line was controlling the vertical shape and the over direction was controlling the horizontal shape. Okay. Now, moving through the corner, my sections become pretty much horizontally diagonal. There's the guide. And my cutting line is controlling the horizontal shape, my over direction is controlling the vertical shape. Next section. Over direction, back to previous. There's the guide, look. What happens when I get beneath the contour? Elevate. First section here is more horizontal. Okay. Come out from the corner. Find the guide from the back, which is going to be on the far left. Okay. I'm going to connect to that. And the whole time, guys, as well, my fingertip is making sure that I'm anchored somewhat to the head shape, that I'm not all the way out in limbo, right, or too tight in. So the whole time my fingertip or my knuckle is controlling that distance that I am from the head, okay? Back to previous. Notice how, look, the weight here is way off the head, see? Doesn't need to be that long, so we want to slim that back in, just a little touch. And anywhere that's beneath the contour, just elevate it. Next section. Over direct, back to previous. There's the guide. Anything on the contour we want to, or just below the contour, we want to elevate. Next section. Over direct. And elevate. Take the deeper section to the top. And over direct your layer all the way back down to graduation. Okay, just to make sure that nothing's too disconnected, right? We have got a little bit of disconnection here, so I'm just going to connect all that back into graduation.
Will that affect the shape of the top?
Yep, so what that does is that takes a little bit of the squareness off the corner, but that's fine. It's going to be the support for the top, so before I even begin drawing the top, I want to make sure that the sides and the walls are nice and tight. Now, what I'm actually going to do at the top here is just get rid of that kind of excess heavy water, and I'm going to actually just let the rest dry naturally by itself, right? Because we want something that's curly, and the slower that dries, the more natural it's going to look. So I really want to just let it dry on its own. I don't want to force it or try and dry it too quickly and then we lose the curl. Okay? And then generally speaking, I like to start from the back and move forward. There's no real reason for that. I think it's personal preference. I really don't think it makes a big difference. Some haircuts I will go from the front to the back. There's no real preference, guys, but whatever you feel comfortable doing, okay? Now, number 2 comes in. There's the end of my graduation. And my number 2, I'm going to come in and I'm going to make sure that the clipper is inverted, okay? So no C motion here. Inverted, and we're going to move the clipper square. So we're just going to come up and down away from the graduation, okay? Now, another thing that I'm going to do is not start from the bottom first. What I want to do is look after this band of weight where the graduation is first. So I'm just moving up and down within the one band. Then I come back and clear off what's along the bottom. Okay? The reason for that is that if I'm trying to come here all the way to here, there's too much space to get a rhythm. What you want to do is imagine there's 2 imaginary lines between, say, the bottom of the contour and the 2, and you just want to work in that first to get your number 2 in. Then clear off everything else. And so on. Right, we'll go through the steps now. But what I'm going to show you is how to map a fade out into 3 very, very, very simple zones, okay? So, like I said, guys, we're leaving this reasonably low because of the length that we have on top. I'm just going to use a curved guideline, which means that we're going to dip it slightly in the back, 5 to go. Yeah? So double 0, skip the 0, 0.5. So we know that the 0 will knock out the line between the double 0 and the 0.5, correct?
Yeah.
0.5. What guard comes after 0.5 in length?
Just the one.
Just the 1. So we skip the 1, go to 1.5, okay? And then we're pushing the 1.5 into the number 2. Then we use the transition guard to soften the blend between the 1 open and the 2. And all I'm doing here, guys, is I'm visually looking for areas that look a little bit heavy. I'm not just aimlessly using this length in here. If there's an area that looks a little bit heavy, that's where I use it. And sometimes you don't need this guard, though. Sometimes you don't need the transition. Sometimes you fade and it just all blends in and happy days. Now notice, guys, what's changed in my technique here? Flicking out, well done. Anything else? Why am I flicking out is the question. What's happening now that's different than before? I'm blending. So when I'm on the way up, I'm actually just looking to remove weight. I'm removing masses of weight, am I? Lastly, guys, what do I have to remove? It's the 0. Make sure that I don't go too high. You want to make sure that I keep that weight around the crown. And then what you can do with the hair in the back, because there's a little bit more density, is you can actually just no guard it. Okay, like we would when we're fading, so transition, 1 open, 1 closed, 0.5, 0. And this will just allow the hair to just move just a little bit better. I'm just getting rid of any of those kind of heavy, dense cutting lines that we placed in, just to soften everything up.